For the man who has no footwear, the soles become his footwear. Welcome to section 4 of chapter 5 of the Holy Quran. Chapter 5 being Surah Al Ma'idah, Surah of Table Spread. Let's go. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ. Remember, Moses said to his people, لِقَوْمِهِ, يَا قَوْمِ اذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ. O my people, call in remembrance the favor of God unto you. Is ja'ala fiikum anbiya'a wa ja'alakum mulukan. Let's stop there. Let's pause there. Unto you. When he produced prophets among you, ja'ala fiikum anbiya'a. Yes. Wa ja'alakum mulukan. Prophets among you, made you kings. Mulukan. وَجَعَلَكُمْ مُلُكًا وَأَتَاكُمْ مَا لَمْ يُؤْتِ أَحَدًا مِنَ الْعَالَمِينَ. Made you kings and gave you what he, God, had not given to any other among the prophets. Among the peoples. Here, Alamin is interpreted as peoples. ما لم يؤت أحدا من العالمين. He had not given to any other among the peoples. Min al-alamin. We have two notes to read. No, three notes. 721, 722, and 723. Pardon me. Let's go to 7:1 first. Produce prophets among you. That's where we are going. The note to read is 721. 721. There was a long line of patriarchs and prophets before Moses, e.g., Abraham, Isaac, Ismail, Jacob. Even though we are told Abraham was not a Jew in this same Quran. So, but the commentator has added him, probably because it's just to mention the number of patriarchs that came before Moses. I have a pamphlet here, 25 prophets. This is the back of the book. And I have here, oh my God, and I have here the prophets. You can see before Moses, immediately before Moses is Ezekiel or Zulkifl or Bishri. They refer to the same person, Ezekiel, Zulkifl, and Bishri. And then we have Job, Ayuba, going up like that until we come to AdaM. I haven't gone anywhere and I've already been warned against my device. I don't know. And so 721, we've done among you. Joseph, etc. Abraham, yes, we've done that. Then we go to 722, the next note. 722. What is it against kings? Mulukan. Kings. From the slavery of Egypt, the children of Israel were made free and independent, and thus each man became, as it were, a king, if only he had obeyed God and followed the lead of Moses. Now we go to the next one, 723. 723, to any before, you are not given to any other among the peoples. Min al alamin, lama lam. Hmm. Oh, where is it? Uh, lam yote ahadan min al alamin. Lam yote ahadan min al alamin. That's where we are going. Mm. Uh, we are told to go to Exodus 19:5. Mhm. Uh, and into brackets, inverted commas rather. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me. You shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above the people. Mhm. And this is in inverted commas. Mhm. Israel was chosen to be the vehicle of God's message, the highest honor which any nation can receive. Like we saw before, there are conditions which they failed woefully. So God even cursed them. Okay, let's go to the next sign, which is 2:21. Ya qawmi, idkhulu al-arda al-muqaddasatan allati kataba Allahu lakum. Muqaddasatan, holy. Mm. O my people, enter the holy land, Muqaddasatan. Enter the holy land, allati which God hath assigned unto you. Allati kataba Allahu alaykum. Mm. God has assigned to you, or kataba Allahu lakum, not alaykum. Kataba Allahu lakum, for you. Mm. Uh, wala tartadu ala idbarakum. And turn not back, ignominiously. Mm. La tattadu ala adbarakum. Fatankalibu hasirin. Fatankalibu hasirin. For then will ye be overthrown to your own ruin. Hasirin, to your own ruin. Let's see, there is a note there, at least 724. Yes, one note, 724. And it's against my people, enter the Holy Land, 724. We now come to the events detailed in the 13th and 14th chapters of the book of Numbers in the Old Testament. Full stop. Read these as a commentary and examine a good map of the Sinai Peninsula, showing the connections with Egypt on the west. Full stop. Northwest Arabia on the east, and Palestine on the northeast. Now the map is available to many people. It even comes on the internet. On the east, and Palestine on the northeast. We may suppose that Israel crossed from Egypt into the peninsula somewhere near the northern extremity of extremity, yes, extremity of the Gulf of Suez. Full stop. Moses organized and numbered the people and instituted the priesthood. Full stop. They went south about 200 miles to Mount Sinai, where the Torah was revealed. Full stop. Then perhaps 150 miles north was the desert of Paran, 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 capital P, was the desert of Paran, uh, close to southern borders, close to the southern borders of Canaan, close to the southern borders of Canaan. Full stop. From the camp, from the camp there, 12, from the camp there, 12 men were sent to spy out the land, and they penetrated as far as Hebron. So it's not today that the Israelis started spying. They are good at spying, hmm, to spy out the land, and they penetrated as far as Hebron, comma, say about 150 miles north of their camp, comma, about 20 miles south of the future Jerusalem, south of the future Jerusalem. I haven't really sat down to examine this myself, so let me mark it. Maybe I can do it later. Mm, of the future Jerusalem, full stop. They saw a rich country and brought from it uh, pomeg- pomegranates, pomegranates and figs, and a hunch of grapes so heavy that it had to be carried by two men on a staff. Staff. They had to be carried by two men on a staff. Full stop. They came back and reported that the land was rich, but the men there were too strong for them. So the Israelis know who is stronger than them. Mm. Now they found that the Iranians are too strong for them. Mm. For them, full stop. The people of Israel had no courage and no faith. So they lack two things. Mm. If you have no courage, at least you should have faith, because it's the faith is with which that God is driving you. It's with faith that God made Moses, and Aaron to conquer Pharaoh, even though he was stronger than them. But here they had no courage and they had no faith either. And Moses remonstrated with them. That's note 724 to sign. Yes, 724 to sign 21. Yes, to sign 21. Mhm. To sign 7. Let's go to the next sign. Uh, let's go to the next sign. That's next sign. That's 722. No, 22. Sign 22. Mhm. قالوا يا موسى إن فيها قوما قوما جبارين or قوما جبارين. They said, "O Moses, in this land are a people of exceeding strength." People, قوما جبارين, of exceeding strength. وإنا لن تدخلوها وإنا لن تدخلوها حتى يخرجوا منها, of exceeding strength. Never shall we enter it, land tadkhuluha, until they leave it. Until they leave it. Yaharuju minha, until they leave it. فإن يخرجوا منها فإنا داخلون. إن يخرجوا منها فإنا داخلون. Until they leave it. If, in brackets, if then in brackets, if once is in brackets, if once they leave, then we shall enter. And go at the bracket, it reads, if they leave, then we enter. So God has ordered you to go to a country, a land, and you go and say they are strong. Then you should wait until the people leave before you enter. Who is going to make them leave? All right. There is a note to read 725, and 725 is against strength. Mm. Jabarina, if I've called it right. Mm. So take the first word that I call. Let me see if I can get it. Yes. Kauman, Jabarina, that's it. That's where we are going. 725. Jabarina. The people were of the people were not willing to follow the lead of Moses and were not willing to fight for their inheritance. Inheritance is in double inverted commas because God has given it to them, so it's now like their inheritance. Mm. Full stop. If in effect they said, "Turn not," no. In fact, this in effect they said, "Turn out the enemy first, and then we shall enter into possession." Mm. It's all in double inverted commas. Full stop. In God's law, we must work and strive for what we wish to enjoy. Religion is not that easy. Mm. Compare Moses' people, the Israelis, to the people of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whose people, majority of them followed him to fight, except a few. We had more brave men among the people of Muhammad, among the followers of Muhammad, than the followers of Moses. At least that's what this passage is telling us. Mm. Uh, we enter into possession. In God's law, we must work and strive for what we wish to enjoy. Okay, I think I've done it. And that's no 725 to sign 22. Let's go to sign 23. Kala, Kala Rajulani Minan Lazina Yuhafuna. Minan Lazina Yuhafuna An Amallahu alayhima. Yuhafuna an amallahu alayhima. But among their God-fearing men, but is in brackets, God-fearing is also in brackets. We remove the two, it reads, among God-fearing men, God-fearing is hyphenated, among God-fearing men were two, Rajulani, on whom God had bestowed his grace. Rajulano, an amallahu alayhima. God has bestowed his grace. Idhulu alayhim al-baba. Idhulu alayhim al-baba. They said, assault them at the proper gate. The word proper is in bracket. It's not there, it's in brackets. It's not there in the Arabic side. With that it reads, assault them at the gate. Is assault them at the gate. Mhm. That's what it's read without the brackets. Mhm. Idhulu, yes, idhulu alayhim al-baba. So idhulu here is not enter. Our honorable commentators have meant attack, assault, and not just enter, because they are not going to enter like that. It's not a free place to enter. You have to attack, assault them. Assault them at the gates, al-baba. فَإِذَا دَخَلْتُمُوهُ فَإِنَّكُمْ غَالِبُونَ. When once you are in, victory will be yours. So all that they had to do was to gather courage and enter. Enter. When they enter, as soon as they enter, it means they are assaulting them. Then the people would be afraid because they are also afraid as the Israelis were afraid. We read it before among the people of Muhammad. Whatever they suffer, the uh, enemy suffers probably even more than that. So the fear that they had, the enemy had more fear of them than the one they had for the enemy. Okay. Once we are in, victory will be yours. In Galibun, fa innakum Galibun. Wa ala Allah tawakkal. Wa ala Allah tawakkalu وعلى الله فتوكلوا على الله فتوكلوا. But on God put your trust. Allah Allah fatawakalu. Upon God put your trust. Mm. In kuntum mu'minin. If ye have faith. In kuntum mu'minin. Uh, let's go to 24. Like I said, I've been warned already. Maybe I should continue until I'm cut off. So bear with me if that happens. But I believe I'll finish the three left remaining verses before. We go to 24. Kalu ya Musa inna lam nadkhuluha abadan. They said, "Oh Moses, we shall never enter it. Abadan. We shall never enter it. Uh, ma ma abadan ma damu fiha, we shall never enter it as long as they are in it. Ma damu fiha, as long as they are in it. Fa ishib anta wa rabuka fakatila inna hauna ka idun. Well, they are telling Moses, go and fight with your Lord. We are sitting here. Oh, yes, maybe if I were among them, I would have behaved the same. Go and fight them with your Lord. We sit here and watch you. Go thou and thy Lord and fight ye too while we sit here. You can imagine. At least Muhammad's people didn't say that. They were rather, some of them, a pocket of them were rather hypocrites. But they didn't have the courage to tell Mama, you and God, go and fight them while we sit. No. Okay. The note to read is 727. 727. The advice of Joshua and Caleb and the proposals of Moses under divine instructions were unpalatable to the crowd, whose prejudices were further inflamed by the other 10 men who had gone with Joshua and Caleb. Full stop. They made an evil report and were frightened by the great stature of the Canaanites. Full stop. The crowd was in open rebellion. The crowd was in open rebellion, was prepared to stone Moses, Aaron, Joshua, and Caleb, and return to Egypt. Kai, where they had been mistreated, and return to Egypt. Full stop. So that they would return and be more and be even and be slaves more than before, and return to Egypt. Full stop. Their reply to Moses was full of irony, insolence, blasphemy, and cowardice. Altogether is my word. Full stop. In effect, they said, colon, you talk of your God and all that, colon. Go with your God and fight there if you like. If you like, colon. We shall sit here and watch. It's not easy to lead people. So this is to all leaders around the world. You see somebody on top leading people. It's not an easy thing. You ask them, they'll tell you. You may have to fire some, suspend some, fight some, and so on. Okay. And that's note 727 to sign 24. Let's go to sign 25 and then quickly to sign 26 to wrap up. Sign 25. Kala Rabbi inni la amliku illa nafsi wa ahi. He said, oh my God, I have power only over myself and my brother. That's what Moses said to God or cried to God. فأهي فإفرك بيننا وبين قوم الفاسقين. So separate us from this rebellious people, Komal Fasikin. 728 is their note. 728. Moses and Aaron fell on their faces. After they cried, they prayed. Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation. Numbers XIV 5. XIV 5. That could be 16. Or in Arabic V, if it's Arabic V, it's 14. If it's Roman V, it's 16. So Romans, Numbers 6 5. Full stop. In brackets close. According to the words in the Old Testament story, God said, I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them. That means he won't give the land back to them anymore and disinherit them. That's in Numbers in the Bible. Inverted commas close. Numbers XIV 12. XIV, I consider it to be Roman letter, and that is 1512. Pardon me if I'm mistaken. So when you go to check, please note that. Numbers 12 in brackets, full stop. Moses prayed and interceded, full stop. But as we are told, a spiritual touch, not as we are told, comma, a spiritual touch not found in the Jewish story. And all this is in brackets. Without the brackets is reads. But as we are told, Moses was careful to separate himself and his brother from the rebellion. Oh yes, because that's what they wanted. Mm. Instead of them commanding him to go and fight, to go with God and fight for them. Mm. All right, let's go to the next sign, the last sign, and that is sign 26. Kala, fa in Kala, fa innaha muharramatun, fa innaha muharramatun alayhim. Mm. God said, God said, therefore, the therefore will the land be out of reach. Therefore will the land be out of their reach for 40 years. Muharrimatun alayhim arba'ina sanatan. 40 years. Arba'ina sanatan. The land will be out of their reach for 40 years. You see why they had to travel for 40 years. It would have been much shorter. Mm. Uh, Sanatan. Yatihuna fil ardi. In destruction will they wander through the land. In destruction, and that is Yatihuna fil ardi. In destruction will they wander through the earth. Semicolon. Fil ardi. Fala tasa ala kaumil fasikina. Fala tasa ala kaumil fakisina. Sorry, fala tala ala kaumil fasikina. But sorrow thou not over these rebellious people. So God told Moses not to have pity on them, not to have sympathy of them in Old English, but sorrow thou not over these rebellious people. Note 7 through 9. 7 through 9 to wrap up the whole thing. And it's pretty lengthy. Let's see. It's against what? 40 years, yes. The punishment of rebellion of these self-naked people, self-naked is hyphenated, of these self-naked people, rebellion that was repeated into brackets these 10 times, that were repeated into inverted commas these 10 times, then we are into, into inverted commas these 10 times, then in brackets, Numbers XIV 22, Numbers XIV 22, maybe 14, maybe 14, maybe 16 in Roman letters, XIV 14, brackets close, and more, and more. Was that, okay, the punishment of the rebellion of these stiff-necked people, comma, rebellion that was repeated, and more, was that they were left to wander distractedly hither and thither through the wilderness for 40 years. for 40 years. Mhm. Uh, Full stop. That generation was not to see the Holy Land. That generation was not to see the Holy Land. And I suppose that's why Moses didn't see the Holy Land, but a different generation after him, led by Joshua. Uh, where is it? Was not to see. Oh, your carcass. That generation was not to see the Holy Land. I've got it. All full stop. All those that were 20 years old and upwards were to die in the wilderness. So you can see the desert has collected dead bodies and is still collecting dead bodies today. The Palestinians are there, and also later the Israelis. All that part is the desert. Die in the wilderness. Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness, and that is in brackets Numbers XIV 29. Your carcasses will fall in this wilderness. That can be found in Numbers XIV 29. Full stop. Brackets close. Only those who were then children would reach the promised land. Full stop. And so it happened. And so it happened. So only children got to the promised land. From the desert of Paran, they wandered south, north, and east for 40 years. Yes, that's destruction. Mm. Full stop. From the head of what is now the Gulf of Aqaba, from the head of what is now called the Gulf of Aqaba. I don't know if that's still the name today as I read. Aqaba. They were traveled north from the head of what is now the Gulf of Aqaba, they traveled north, keeping to the east side of the depression of which the Dead Sea and the River Jordan are portions, full stop. 40 years afterwards, they crossed the Jordan opposite what is now Jericho, but by that time, Moses, Aaron, and the whole of the elder generation had died. The Nigerians would say had died. Oh, Nigeria, a very funny country. When I was there in the 70s, 80s, in the 80s, let's say early 80s, the word pie was not there. What we knew was kill 'em, but today they will say pie am. I don't know where they get their words from. Mhm. Okay, anyway, that's all. So, note 729 to sign 26 ends section 4. We shall therefore pause here. When we come back in our next episode, God willing, we shall go to section 5. Section 5 begins with sign 27. Thank you very much. Bye bye. May God be with you all.